All right, now pay attention to those segment names. This is where I need your attention. This is what I promised you. Here comes the ज्ञान. ऐसा है कुछ साल पहले तक everyone was behaving themselves and using proper nomenclature. But then some marketing genius decided that, you know what, let's try and make it sound sexier than it actually is. So we started to use all kinds of new names. There was no reason for sticking to just UV or utility vehicle. We went to SUV. Similarly, you started seeing people using things like CUV. And then, the compact SUV, which was compact, suddenly started becoming, or people started calling it mid-sized, just sounded bigger, sounded good in the ads. So now I'm going to tell you, let's keep it very simple. Let's get the real segment names so that it's easy for you to understand in the long run just how these cars are actually positioned. As I mentioned, there's so much platform sharing also between them. First up, micro SUV. We can even call it entry SUV. Only two players here right now. There's the Hyundai Exter and the Tata Punch. Well, also the Tata Punch EV. So only one of them has an EV option, but you know what? You might get that Hyundai Inster or something like it very soon. Next is the subcompact SUV segment. Now this is sub 4 meter also. This is one of the two fastest growing segments in the market. Here you have a ton of options. Best selling cars. And in fact, the best selling cars really remain the Nexon at the lower end, the Venue at the higher end of the price point. But here's the interesting thing about this segment. ये एक ऐसी segment है, perhaps the only one in the market, where no model, no car that has been launched has really flopped. Everything has done well. It shows you the kind of demand in the market. So, Hyundai Venue, Kia Sonet, now the new Kia Ceros, Mahindra Thar, that's the three-door Thar, XUV 3XO, XUV 400, both Mahindras again, Maruti Suzuki Brezza, the Fronx also, which sells through the Nexa platform, Nexa retail network rather. Jimny also sells from there. Nissan Magnite. Then we have the twin of the Magnite, which is the Renault Kiger. Skoda Kailak, the latest one to launch in the market. Wait, the Ceros, they came around the same time. So Kailak and then, or Kailak. And then you have the Tata Nexon, the Tata Nexon EV, and the Toyota Urban Cruiser Tizer. That's the full name officially for that car. अगर ये लिस्ट आपको लंबी लगी तो then wait for the next one. Compact SUVs is the next segment, जहां अभी भी नई डस्टर का बेसब्री से इंतजार है. Now I've driven that. That review is on the Acco Drive YouTube channel. It's a car that should launch in a few months. It's getting a lot of buzz in European markets. Third generation Duster. It's a ridiculous and completely unnecessary delay as far as launching it in India goes. Chalo, I got sidetracked. Coming back to the list. B6 from Mahindra, one of the latest entrants. Fully electric. The Citroën Aircross. यहाँ पे भी I guess Aircross का एक EV version is on the anvil. You got the Basalt also from Citroën, the coupe version of the Aircross. Honda Elevate does pretty well. The Hyundai Creta, which is the market leader. And now we got the Creta Electric also. Kia Seltos, Mahindra Thar Rocks, bestseller, our car of the year. Another bestseller is the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara. Now, this also has the hybrid option. There is also a four-wheel drive option here, but that's only manual. The upcoming e-Vitara is also going to be very interesting. It's coming up very soon. You saw it at the Auto Expo. The MG Aster, the Skoda Kushaq, Tata Curve EV, the Toyota Urban Cruiser Highrider, long name, and that again has the hybrid option. And finally, the Volkswagen Tiguan. Now, the mid-size SUVs are next. You got the BYD Atto 3, जो यहाँ सिर्फ size से ज़्यादा price की वजह से है, let's be honest. The Citroën C5 Aircross, forgot about that one, didn't you? Hyundai Tucson, surprisingly did very well, better than Hyundai expected. लेकिन इसका facelift अभी तक launch नहीं हुआ है. Jeep Meridian, yeah, remember the Jeep Meridian? Mahindra XUV 700. Yes, now we're talking, of course, about the three rows also being a part of this segment. The Mahindra Scorpio N, MG Hector Plus, Tata Safari, and the new XEV9E. Notice how I'm not calling them Mahindra because those are the brands, B6 and XEV9E. Yeah, it'll take some time to get used to that. Well, anyway, we'll see how those families expand. Now, while they're not as hot selling as some of them are super pricey, some of them are still pretty popular. And speaking of super pricey and still pretty popular, the full sizers, also known as the Hulks. Well, some of them are. MG Gloucester, then you got the Majester, which is something that's around the corner. Basically, like a swankier version of the Gloucester, like what Toyota did with the Fortuner. This was shown at the expo, it should launch very soon. The Nissan X Trail, again, was launched, kind of overpriced, kind of forgotten. Skoda Kodiaq, the new generation, will launch very soon. In fact, we've already got the invitation for the drives, so which means the launch is imminent. Saw it at the expo also. As I mentioned, the Fortuner, best seller here, and uska bhi wo thoda fancy version hai, Legender. Yeah, that name is something. Anyway, the Toyota Hilux. Now it's not technically an SUV, but since we get the double cab and you've got enough seating for like a family of 5, and then you've got the pickup cab behind it. Since we don't really have a pickup segment, I put it here anyway. And the Volkswagen Tiguan. The Tiguan, the new generation, is again not yet in the market, but उसका भी teaser निकल चुका है, उसका भी सारा हमको पता है कि क्या strategy होने वाली है. It's going to be again like a complete import, just the R line. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is, see, crazy long list. Prices go from like 6 lakhs to 60 lakhs.